Welcome back, beautiful people. You're in segment 3 of the From Beggar to Investor series. I'm Carolyn Kai Sanders. Thank you so much for continuing on this journey with Wisdom and I. Some things I need you to know before we get started. I feel good, like James Brown declared. Like, I feel good like the moon is shining just for me, as Mary J. Blige proclaimed. And I'm so happy being me, like Angie Stone revealed. And I've got sunshine, like Avery Sunshine announced. Now I ask, can you feel a brand new day like they did in The Wiz? As a disclaimer, I need to remind you of some things, all right? 1, please understand I'm not going to say what you think I'm going to say. 2, that's because if we continue to do what's always been done, we'll continue to get what we've always got. It's time for a change, okay? And number 3 is, if you remember from the funding video, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result is a well-known definition for insanity. Yeah, we're going to stop that. Love is bringing a new solution to an old problem because it's time to change what's been going on. We're going to shake things up a little bit. We're going to move individuals and families from surviving to thriving. We're looking to engage with like-minded people and build a community who believes in the intrinsic humanity and value of every person and seek to honor it. If you're with love, then buckle up for the ride of a lifetime, because this is about to be the most epic roller coaster ride unlike any that has yet to be invented. Yeah, this is not anything. Yeah, you have no idea. I'm so excited. I can't even, God is just working over here. But I'm going to join in with McFadden and Whitehead and exclaiming, ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. Hey! Now, let me continue on by telling you what I'm about to share with you is radical. It's revolutionary. It's designed to create change we need. It's designed to create change we can count on. But more importantly, it will create change that will last. John Legend and the Roots threw down the gauntlet when they sang, "Our generation, it's all left up to us. It's time to pick it up and run with it to victory," okay? And I stand with Sounds of Blackness when they remind us you can win as long as you keep, come on, sing it with me, your head to the sky, optimistic. Thank you, Sounds of Blackness. And I am. The tears are not tears of sorrow. I just can't tell you guys. So good. Thank you, R&B music, the music that soothes your soul. And most importantly, thank you, God, for where you have brought me from. All right. Before I jump into the content for today, which is what love will create, here's a gentle reminder that what you're listening to is by personal invitation. Please do not share what you are hearing with the random public, at least not yet. I just want you to be aware of the changes that are coming so you can know what the money I earn for us will be used for. So let's talk about love. I'm going to start with love of self. I'm using my L.U.V definition, right? Learn your value. First of all, Wisdom and I technically are still homeless. We've been living with his dad's parents, and that has been the learning experience of a lifetime. I am forever in debt to them for the education I could not have ever paid for. But it's time to leave. And when we go, I really want to go big time. See, I have yet to have the Mother's Day weekend of my dreams. In the midst of this pandemic, it's not entirely possible. At least I don't think it is yet, because a massage and pedicure would just top the list of things I want. But I'm going to create it as closely as I can. Because it's not Mother's Day, I can do this any day of the week to celebrate being a mom. Like I do anyway, or at least most days. With the money you'll help me learn, with the money you'll help me earn, I will schedule a limo pickup so Wisdom and I can move out of his grandparents' 2-bedroom, 5-room apartment where we have inhabited the living room, one of only 2 rooms on the main floor. Yeah, so living room, kitchen, that's it. There are 2 reasons for the limo pickup. 1, the extravagance, of course. I've never been in one, and Wisdom would love it. But 2, my license is actually expired, so I can't rent a vehicle. And this provides a vehicle with a driver without a time frame, like a paid driving service.
When the limo arrives, I want the driver to drop off toys for Wisdom's cousins to play with. The toys that are here are mostly Wisdom, so I want to make sure plenty is left for them to play with when he takes them. Also, Wisdom will be back to play because he loves his cousins and they need things to play with that I don't have to carry when he comes. I'm thinking building blocks and puzzles and dolls and a kitchen with dishes and food to play with. And of course, a table and set of chairs for them to sit at is absolutely necessary. There also has to be a shelf to put it on, preferably one that can go in the closet so it's not going to be in the way of everything else when the children aren't here. Wisdom's older cousin will also get books and maybe some remote control cars, things that might entice him away from his video games and phone, at least every once in a while. When we're packed and ready to leave, I want to take Wisdom's grandmother on a small shopping spree. Mind you, she's not even 60 yet. She's still quite young, so I think this would be fun. I have watched her serve her family in a number of capacities on a daily basis, often without a thank you. She cooks and cleans and cares for her grandchildren without complaint, or with minimal complaint. Her house is open to almost everyone. If there was a house that never sleeps, it would be this one. I'd like to see her get clothes, shoes, and accessories, household items, food, or whatever. It's the very least I can do to repay her since she's pretty much allowed me to take over the front part of her home, and she shared her kitchen for the last 3 months. I'd also make sure her phone bill, car insurance, internet, and any utility bills are paid in advance for 6 months. And then I'd also pay for Wisdom's grandfather's phone service and car insurance, plus any tools and parts he needs to repair the vehicles he has. Flowers for me would be nice, but they're not necessary for the limo pickup. Flowers and plants can be in the one-bedroom suite we will move into at the Residence Inn by Marriott in downtown Raleigh. It is the only hotel downtown with a kitchen in the suite and is convenient to all buses. Now, I adore flowers, and Wisdom does too, so it will be a fun environment awaiting us. The cost for this hotel is a little over $200 per night when staying long-term. So the price might be a little less than that in the long run. Last I checked, $200 a night or around $1,600 a week after taxes is about where the cost will be. This is where Wisdom and I will set up shop and reside for 4 to 6 weeks as I work and search for the home we'll purchase. If I could have convinced the manager to let me move in, we would already be there. Yes, I did have a conversation with him. He's a good man, and I really appreciated the conversation we did have. We eventually had, I should say. That's an interesting story to tell. But he still did what almost everyone else in the whole entire world does, judge me on the content of my purse and not the content of my potential. The one thing that kept Wisdom and I from living there right now is a credit card with enough money on it to reserve the cost of the room. The room doesn't actually get paid for until the end of the stay. I told him I would be back when I earned the money, so that's when I'll go. Not to prove him wrong, but because the loop-de-loop couch in the lobby has Wisdom's name written all over it. Woo! I knew when we walked in those doors, it was over. That was where we were moving to next. That was like, here's your sign from God. Now, there's no way I can deny that child an opportunity to play on the couch with his vehicles. And I bet you he's going to be an ambassador for that hotel. I'm telling you right now. The manager already thinks highly of him, like most people do. By now, I'm hoping this declaration doesn't shock you. I hope nothing I've said thus far in this video has shocked you, because I figured you would be used to my kind of crazy, so this could not surprise you entirely. Mind you, I didn't have to tell you how I'm going to spend my personal earnings, but I'm letting you know because there is a method to my madness. As a daughter of the divine, I'm tired of hearing church folk talk about how we're all children of God, but when providing assistance, they offer the very least. If I remember the scripture correctly, Jesus said, when you have done it unto one of the least of these, not when you have given the least of these. The idea that we are of great worth, but our mansions won't come until after this life is over, is the same propaganda that was used to uphold the practice of slavery. What that's essentially saying is that as a Black person, our value doesn't actually exist here in this earthly realm. It comes with a mansion we inherit when life is over. No. Clearly, there are many pastors of all denominations and cultural heritages who don't believe that any longer, as they live in prosperity and their parishioners live in poverty. Well, yeah, that's not okay either. I have no idea how religion became a paycheck too, because that's not how Christ lived. Christ was homeless himself, living off of the goodness of others. This didn't bother him because he knew what he had come to do. He knew his internal worth was, excuse me. He knew his internal worth, so the hardship of the mission was worth some of the inconveniences he endured. I imagine he spent much time in his Heavenly Father's glory when we had occasion to slip away privately, so he had opportunities to visit the home he would eventually return to. And in those moments, he was able to experience his internal worth externally. And that's exactly what I want to do, live the vision of what my internal looks like. And this is what love will do with those we serve. Shower people with a vision of what their internal looks like externally, and then help them not only achieve their internal wealth, but believe it's true, like I have. And you know what I expect to happen in the vast majority of cases? People will live up to their potential. That is not what is currently being done. We put a whole lot of pressure on people to rise to the very lowest circumstances. Please don't get me started on affordable housing, quote unquote, okay? I am the daughter of a heavenly king and queen. My ancestry is from the royal lines of Africa. I know this. I can feel it. God has been calling me to arise to honor him and also the ancestry I descend from. It took a lot of internal work on my behalf. The excavation process revealed a diamond mind in my soul. My life should reflect that, not to the glory of myself, but to the glory of God. I have often said, I live out of God's wallet. What he has taught me is as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I'm taken care of. There are no truer words. And moving the business forward, he taught me I will get what love needs when the people are in place. The ministry of Christ truly started after he had called his disciples. Once he had his quote unquote leadership circle in place, the work went forth and all their needs were taken care of. Following the example of Christ, I have experienced similar things, so I know I'm on the right track. All right, now I'm getting off my soapbox. You can tell I calmed down from where I came from. Continuing on with my vision for love, once wisdom and I are settled, I'll be utilizing the services of an attorney who is versed in business law so I can create the documents I need to get people started in the programs I have to offer. The people I start with, God has led me to, so my leadership circle can be created. The Raleigh Get Mad Crew. They are not who you think they are. They are not current community leaders. They are people who are in positions just like me. Why? Because I have met some of the greatest minds who are in the midst of the same struggle I've been in, going from where they are to who they know they can be. The main reason for this is simply because everyone else is already heavily involved in what they are doing. But another reason is because in order for the program I am launching to work, I want those in charge of it to have gone through it. We are the Get Mad crew, but we will also be Love's first graduating class. After the experiences I've had with the shelter system here in Raleigh, I'm disgusted. Like I said, poverty is a paycheck, but I'm not going there again because it infuriates me. I'm fully invested in Malcolm X's quote. I'm livid. As I said before, I'm not just regular old pissed. I'm royally pissed. And I shouldn't say that really, but I am. Saying I'm full of righteous indignation would be better, like Jesus cleansing the temple, but the words just don't have the same effect for me. However, like Jesus, I have accepted God's invitation to show his children he does love them, and he is very aware of them. The journey Wisdom and I have been on allows love, L.U.V, to show people their value in God's eyes, not man's. The investments will come through love, but are a reflection of the word of God. Their return to him will be to do the work internally, to excavate their infinite minds of potential and possibilities, and let what they find inside shine. The only way I can do that is if I've been there myself. I have. There are still some personal battles waging inside of me. There's some bushel blasting to do. And love, L.U.V, is what it takes to do it. That's why I'll be among those in the first graduating class. My intention is to move my leadership circle into the residence inn as well so they can have rooms of their own. They will be there under contract to operate as the Get Mad crew and the pilot participants of the program. If I'm not mistaken, most of them are not in stable housing, so an important objective of their stay will be to move them to permanent housing where the rent and utilities are prepaid for at least 6 months. Now, I anticipate us living there for 3 to 4 weeks. The three objectives we will focus on are, excuse me, 1, launching the website. 2, planning Independence Summer with Proclaim Your Emancipation Weekend. And 3, outreach. And that's enrolling people in the programs that L.U.V will launch. Now, L.U.V's premier endeavor is called the L.U.V Life Cooperative. And yes, life is an acronym, but I'm not going to go into that right now. It's a community organization, and our motto is motivated to live love, have compassion, and extend mercy to break boundaries, connect community, and invest in people based on the parable of the exceptional Samaritan in Luke 10. Everything, I'm not going to go into detail right now about everything this organization will do, but it is where the investments will go that are collected from the work I'll do building businesses for people. This is the business the three objectives will fall under. So let's talk about the website first, because really that's where it all will begin. Now, there are several places this idea came from. The main reason comes from being in Facebook groups where homeless people are connecting with one another and with those who are compassionate about the challenges they face. Sadly, many of those who are homeless have needs that can't be met by those in the group. I remember seeing someone post a request for a tent, and in that group, I think it went without comment. I just remember thinking, I bet someone could buy them a tent and they can pick it up at Walmart or whatever. If I had the money at the time, I would have done it. Something similar is being done in one group I'm connected with. From what I understand, though, the requests are being made from provider to provider, not people to people. In my experience with homelessness, I have found that people help people faster and better than organizations help people. Wisdom and I have had our own needs during this journey we have been on. Wisdom and I both have had shoes bought for us by people, not organizations. Wisdom has 2 winter coats, and I have 1, both purchased by, yep, you guessed it, people. We've had food bought for us from the grocery store by a person. They gave us not only what we needed, but what we wanted. We had hotel rooms paid for, again, by people, definitely not organizations. I have not found any organization, church or otherwise, that will pay for even one night in a hotel, but people from churches have. That is a significant difference. During this crazy time, people are in the greatest amount of need they have ever been in. Organizations are inundated trying to provide help to them on top of assisting those they were already serving. And there are many people helping them to do just that. But there is an untapped reservoir of individuals who want to do something specific for a specific someone, or they can and want to do more than perhaps they have been able to do thus far. This website would provide them a way to do just that. This membership site will be launching through Brilliant Directories. The idea would be to pay one of their staff to fill in the blanks for me, and I can adjust whatever I need in the future. The 4 objectives of this website is 1, a place where people will be able to post their needs. 2, a place where people will be able to search for needs they can fulfill. 3, a place where people can become service providers. 4, a place where people will be able to invest. And 5, people will be able to participate in Paid to Parent, which is our signature program through the cooperative. Now, this website was originally designed to be a resource primarily for those who are homeless, but the world and the state it's in today, there's a lot of need for housed people too. One objective we would have is to validate the need so we don't have people taking advantage of the system. This is one of the dilemmas our leadership circle will find a solution to. An ideal option would be to connect local community organizations who register those who are homeless or in need. They can also become one of several places to receive items for those requesting them if direct contact cannot be made between the giver and the receiver. With so many things out there available for purchase online and pick up in person, contact does not necessarily need to be made. Of course, we expect to have an office where people can come as well, but we are not everywhere. So having places that are convenient for people to get to is essential. As a reminder, the motto for L.U.V Enterprises as a whole is building the village, raising the child. The website supports this endeavor with the giving-receiving aspect, and it takes it up a notch as a place where people can apply to be service providers, both professionals and non-professionals. This also fulfills the connecting community aspect of L.U.V Life's motto. These service providers can be individuals who are professionally trained, such as a counselor or teacher, or they can be individuals who offer a service, such as life coaching or financial advising. And yet again, they can also be individuals and families who are simply interested in the well-being of others and want to be part of someone's village to see them rise to their god or goddess within, like their personal village, because part of our paid to parent program is that each family will have mentors. We'll have individuals and families that will be their mentors or their like support system, their village. And I'm going to talk about that later. Not in this video, though. That will be tomorrow. The fourth component to the website will be a place to financially invest in love. The website is where we will collect any investments from the returns Love receives from the work I do. We expect to return double the investment 2 years after receiving it. This is based on the parable of the talents, where each person who had wisely invested received double in return. It is important for me to note that if you allow me to build a business for you, the difference you invest is subject to this policy of double return. So what you're actually doing is diversifying your investment portfolio when you allow me to work for you. I earn you money, you invest it with love, and love earns you more money. Think about that for a minute. If you offer the 10% difference on your increase or more as you desire on a weekly basis, then your return will be double what you gave 2 years later on a weekly basis. That's like getting a paycheck. If hundreds of people are investing, Love will thrive as a community-funded organization. We won't need grants or other outside resources to take care of ourselves because we are taking care of the people who are funding it first. And that's how it should be. Organizations should be prospering people to such a degree that the people turn around and prosper the organization. If that's not happening, and churches included, that should loudly tell you something. Jumping off of that soapbox again. Woo! Those steps are out there for me today. Let's go back to my vision. Technically, in my book, the service providers and the financial contributors are both investors, one of money and one of time. Again, based on the parable of the talents, I've learned that overall there are only two categories that can be invested in: time and money. Love looks to receive both with the intention that the returns for our investors will be both tangible and intangible. The final aspect of the website is people can apply to participate in the Paid to Parent program. I'll speak on that in more detail when I discuss the last objective of the Get Mad Crew outreach. So let's talk about Independent Summer next. Woo! Oh, sucky now. Yeah. I am so excited to tell you about this, okay? Because this is the event of the year. 2020 is here just so this event can happen. I promise you. Independent Summer will be the epic Black Love Summer. It is family friendly and free to all who attend. It starts with Proclaim Your Emancipation Weekend, a 4-day event starting on Juneteenth night, Friday, June 19th of 2020. The ideal location for this event is Moore Square Park, right downtown Raleigh, North Carolina. My intention is to partner with Every Dot Black to host this event, starting with dinner and dancing in the park on Friday night from 6 to 9. We would have Black-owned restaurants or caterers or food trucks provide dinner for the community. There is a limited amount of tables and chairs already in Moore Square Park, but people will be able to bring blankets and other seating of their choice to be comfortable. Pre-registration will be required in order to receive a dinner ticket. And at the event, people will go to the vendor of their choice and choose a meal. However we choose to set up the dinner option. There will be no alcohol at this event. There will be water stations with juice and soda options, though, so that we're going to keep our people hydrated, right? The music will be provided courtesy of the online radio station Power Music Radio, where R&B is our universal language. And I'll make sure that if you check out my blog for the transcript of this, you'll find the link to their website. They will be broadcasting live, playing music from the ultimate power music playlist, an ever-growing collection of the most thought-provoking, power-filled R&B music ever recorded, relating to life, love gained and lost, and Blackness. I'm telling you, y'all, this is the feel-good event of the year, of the entire year, okay? Possibly of the decade. On Saturday, a Black Business Expo will be held spotlighting Every Black business owners and showcasing the talents of Every Black members. Luckily, Every Black has a 30-day trial membership, so anyone who is not currently enrolled as a business will be able to participate. It will start bright and early at 8 a.m. with a live broadcast of the Motivational Readers Mastermind Network call hosted by Every Black member Stan Anderson. This event will be the grand opening moment for Love Life and officially introduce the Paid to Parent program on a larger scale. We will have a table to enroll new people, both as providers and participants. A very important part of Saturday's event is one of 2 community conversations we will host on topics that matter. We will be able to create an action plan to provide solutions to a challenge our community has been facing, a solution that works. This will be the start of the Love Community Investment Teams. The Love Life Community Investment Teams, an opportunity provided through membership with the Love Life Cooperative. The second conversation will be held on Sunday. One of the booths at the expo will be called Celebration of Black Men. This is also the name of Sunday's event since it is Father's Day. All men, whether they are dads or not, will receive a gift bag which they can fill with a collection of items that will be available in the tent. They can also choose between scheduling their quote-unquote 5 minutes of fame or their quote-unquote 15 minutes of fame. Priority will be given to fathers for Sunday's event. The 5 minutes allows them to be spotlighted on stage during the Sunday festivities, and the 15 minutes allows them to be a guest on an Every Black podcast to share whatever is on their minds. Other family members are welcome to schedule their loved male for a special spotlight if they are not there and or don't do it themselves for some reason. All day Sunday, center stage, we will spend the day spotlighting and celebrating Black men who signed up for their 5 minutes of fame. Again, this is open to all Black men of all ages, whether they're fathers or not. The reason being is every son has a father. Regardless of the father's presence and subsequent effect on the child, that man participated in the creation of a beautiful Black man-child, and they all need to be celebrated. This event is a tribute to my son, his dad, both of his grandfathers, and the beautiful Black men who have helped me co-parent my son in the absence of family. This family-friendly event is all about having fun. Like fun. There's a water feature in downtown, in the park, in Moore Square Park. So if it's possible, that water feature will be active. We're talking bubbles and slime and Play-Doh and Legos and other building materials. I mean, this is all about just having fun with your family. To top it all off, there will be lots of barbecue and sides to satisfy even the most voracious appetite. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. My mouth is just watering at the thought, okay? Now, while this event is starting in Raleigh, I intend to see this become a national event in every city where there is a Black population of 15% or more. I promise you. Now, on Monday, the final event, Every Black will host and broadcast a live version of the Every Black meeting from 6:30 to 8, which was dismantled back in March by the coronavirus pandemic. For me, it's time to regroup with a launch, okay? Doors will open at 5:30, dinner will be provided, and pre-registration is going to be required in order to receive a dinner ticket. This will likely be like a food truck. We will pay for a certain amount of meals, but then we'll provide refreshments of other kinds for those who don't pre-register. Other aspects of these events that will be present all 4 days are an Every Black membership table, Census 2020, get your name in, be counted, voter registration, because we are not keeping this man in office another 4 years, books for sale, for education. We need to know what our people are talking about. We need to be educating ourselves about ourselves. And love, L.U.V, we will be there to represent. On Monday's event, Love Enterprises will host a table to gift scholarships to those entrepreneurs who are interested in membership but are a new business getting established or have been in business for less than a year. We will pay for their first year as an Every Black member. And you'll have to check out the website, which you can find on my blog, in order to find out what membership looks like. Now, I realize this event is 5 weeks away, and right now we're still in the midst of a pandemic, and we're on mandatory stay-at-home orders at various levels in different places. I'm not really concerned. Right now, with an economy recovering from this pandemic, my concern is for the Black community, which is often the most devastated after any tragedy. We already know this to be true about this one, with the Black community having the highest amount of deaths among any other demographic, okay? So this event is important, and it's going to happen. Now, 2 weeks later is Independence Day weekend. We will host an event where participants will be able to express their version of the Emancipation Proclamation, the United States Constitution, or one of several epic speeches by African Americans from the quote unquote, from the Say It Plain or Say It Loud collections found on the American Public Radio website. This can be done through art, music, dance, poetry, spoken words, an essay, or any other mode of communication you can think of. This event will be held in the Raleigh Convention Center on Friday, July 3rd and Saturday, July 4th, with a center stage for performances and an exhibition hall for other entries. So that means this is about 7 weeks away. 4 weeks after that event, after the July 4th weekend, starting on Saturday, August 9th, National Resurrect Romance Week begins. Now, this is a holiday, I guess you can say, created by Cary, North Carolina resident, and founder of the romantic.com website. The gentleman's name is Michael Webb. So what we're going to do is we're going to host daily family-friendly events based on the 5 tenets of Black love celebrated on Black Love Day, which, if you don't know, is February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day. And so this correlates with National Resurrect Romance Week, because National Resurrect Romance Week is celebrated 6 weeks after Valentine's Day. So, but it takes up the whole week. Anyway, so those 5 tenets are love of creator, love of self, love of family, love of race, and love of community. Now, at the end of the month, at the beginning of the next, Labor Day weekend always brings the African American Cultural Festival, which is a huge, huge event here in Raleigh. Plans have long been underway to make this event a reality. Currently, we have nothing to do with implementing it, but we will anticipate having 1 or 2 booths to bring 1 or 2 booths or being one of the sponsors if it's still possible. And that will be the closing event of Independence Summer. Because right now it's time to heal race relations in this country, especially during this election year. It's time to celebrate our own greatness in epic ways and step out of the shadows because of the foolishness some of our own are perpetuating. I'm not going to stand on that soapbox. I'm right here with y'all, okay? Just stay with me. These events happening one after another, spotlighting Blackness, will draw the attention of all cultures, but most especially our own. And it will give us a needed sense of pride and self-love that's been missing for too long in our community. So are you getting as excited as I am? Remember now, these are just my visions. Executing these will be possible only with people who have absolutely nothing else to do at this time and can focus on pulling off a miracle. I know people like that. So you don't have to worry about how it's going to happen. Just got to plan our work and work our plan. That's how. And with that, I'm going to leave this section of what the investment fund that you all are going to help me create is going to pay for. That's just the beginning. In the next video, which I'll post tomorrow, will be all about the Love Life Cooperative, the Center for Aristocratic Development, and the Paid to Parent program that we'll be launching, and that my leadership circle and I will be piloting and will be the first graduating class from. So stay tuned for that video tomorrow. Thank you again for your time today. I look forward to creating amazing things with you. So stay tuned. The best is yet to come. And like I said, as Thoreau said, as one advances confidently in the direction of their dreams and endeavors to live the life which they have imagined, they will meet with success unexpected in common hours. And I not only believe it because he said it, but I believe it because I believe in God to do it. And I hope you do too. So create today. It's amazing. And may your choices make it the best day ever.